Hey, I wanted to come on and talk to you about shame. Shame is something that everyone feels, and what is surprising enough about shame is oftentimes we feel shame around the things that actually empower and liberate us the most. So, you might feel shame around asking questions to your partner, but those questions that you're asking, when you can step out of that shame or that comfort zone and actually ask those questions, the answer will bring you peace and so much more happiness in most cases because you're honoring yourself and you feel shame around that question or whatever you want to talk about because of the way that maybe you have been treated in the past. It could be linked to some sort of trauma or some trigger for you. But in most cases, when we can address and confront our shame and work through the shame of around whatever we are feeling, it actually brings us to a place of greater empowerment. So, something that you're feeling shame around right now, I encourage you to take a minute to kind of reflect on that and think to yourself, like, why do I feel shame around this? When did this start for me? How does this, whatever it may be, make me feel? And you might find that when you can work past that shame around that, that it actually brings you so much more happiness and allows you to feel so much more free in yourself. So, please take the time to like connect back to why you feel shame around the things you do so that you can step out of that shame and more into like yourself. I know for me, my posts recently, I used to feel shame around my body and just like dancing, and I love dancing, so I felt shame around it because of the way that I always thought that people would perceive it, not because I was actually ashamed of dancing itself, but it was like what I thought people would think of it. So being able to step out of that shame and not care so much about what people think about my dancing allows me now to be in a place where I can just dance freely and be myself and feel liberated while doing so. Or even my shaking video where my body was shaking. And yeah, I used to feel shame in that. I used to think that that was a bad thing and that that was so gross and so unattractive. And the reason I felt that way is because that's what I was taught. And those are traumas that I had to work through myself. And now I'm in a place where that itself is also liberating, and I understand that all bodies shake and that shaking is sexy. So I am encouraging you to work through your shame or at least question it and try to find the root of it and connect to where it came from, what triggers it for you, and what it would feel like if you didn't have that shame in your life.